a fraction of the price and a percentage of the production, you might as well take that at first base nowadays. So Hosmer, I only think that Hosmer can go back to Kansas City or San Diego. And if I was him, I'd just rather go back to Kansas City. Just go home. Go home. Don't you like your home? Go home. Now, Moustakas, I think, still has options. I think there's a couple teams out there that need a third baseman. And Moustakas has the clout. He's got the numbers to back it up, baby. He's got a little bit of swag with him. It's the Jake Robinson Sports Experience live on the Let's Talk Baseball Podcast Network. I just want to say Happy New Year's to everybody out there, and thank you for listening to me. I love all of you. Well, I love some of you. Well, wait a minute. I like a couple of you. Happy New Year's, you bastards. God, man, I think about 20 years ago, I would have been drunk in some hole somewhere because it was New Year's. What a disgusting, revolting person I was. I'm still disgusting. I just have other vices now, and it ain't alcohol. Now I live by the credo of win the day. And find your place of peace and fill it with mayhem. And that's what I do. It's Jake the Snake. I got your hookup. Holler if you hear me. I went through and I crunched some of these numbers. You know, the final numbers of the year. I just wanted to share a couple of those with you. I also wanted to talk about this year's rookie class. Now, I got to tell you, I've been watching baseball since 1974. This might be the greatest rookie class I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not even lying. I am just amazed at the talent. First of all, the talent that's been coming out in baseball in the past 8 years is ridiculous. And it all started with that Mike Trout son of a bitch. I mean, he just came out and made the game look so friggin' easy. And it ain't that easy. Believe me, it's not. Don't get caught up looking at Mike Trout thinking you're going to be a multi-millionaire because he makes that shit look easy. It's not easy. It's hard. And the rookies just keep elevating and elevating and elevating. And I'm going to tell you something. I said this a couple weeks back and I've had to rethink my thoughts on it. I used to really like players when they were in that age of 28 to 32. And this was in the 90s, you know, like a Rafael Palmeiro, between the ages of 28 and 32. My God, you could not get him out. I mean, it was just amazing. But, you know, steroids. And it made these players later better. But now that, look, I'm not going to sit here and say steroids is clean out of the game for good, but now that there's stricter testing in place and, you know, there's, you know, certainly punishment that is, you know, severe. You just ask Starlin Marte. I mean, you get caught, you're going to do some time. And you're going to feel shame and embarrassment. Right? Well, now that the steroid testing and everything is so much more stringent, you know, like these 28 to 32 might be a little old now. Well, not so much the 28, but on the 32 end, that's getting up there now. Baseball players are shining young now. All the great players are young. Almost all of them are under 30. It's ridiculous. And there is definitely a change going on in baseball right now. We are getting away from the Derek Jeter, David Ortiz, Ichiro Suzuki era. We are entering a whole new era of the Machados and the Chris Bryants and the Aaron Judges and the Mike Trouts. I mean, it's a whole new era, and I love it. I love it. I just want to get nude and run around and watch baseball 24 hours a day. Like, really? Brian Moore out of the Boogie Down Bronx, he's like busting my balls that the Ravens didn't make the playoffs, and I didn't even know they played today. You think I care? Dude, I am baseballed up. I'm looking at these rookies, though, and they are just filthy. You got Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, Trey Mancini. Trey Mancini batted .293 with 24 bombs and 78 RBIs last year. I mean, Judge and Bellinger were out of this world. And they were Rookie of the Year, and rightfully so, for the American League and National League. There's no debate about that whatsoever. Both of them were Rookies of the Year, no doubt. Which is even amazing, because this class right here is sick. It's revolting. It makes my stomach turn. Andrew Benintendi, Bradley Zimmer, Josh Bell, Ian Hatt, Paul DeYoung, Reese Hoskins, Yuli Gurriel, Rafael Devers, Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Manuel Margot, Mitch Maniger. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, this is the greatest class of rookies I've ever seen in baseball in my life. It's not even close. I loved watching those kids play this year. I know a lot of people hate Aaron Judge. I don't hate Aaron Judge. He's exciting, man. I dig it. I don't like it when he's killing my team. But, I'm like the rest of the world when it's all rise time, man, and he sends one to the moon. I'm all about it. I'm not going to lie, man. It's a beautiful sight. Then again, I'm just a seamhead with serious problems. I'm only 20% charm and 60% grit. I'm like 40% of, puppy dog tails and snails. I mean, listen, look. Some people say I have a voice for radio and a face to match. And this is true. I'm not a good-looking man. I understand that. I use what I got with what I got. But let me tell you, I'm still kicking it, though. For as old as I am, I'm still kicking it. And Jake the Snake ain't never going down. I mean, it is unbelievable. Don't believe those guys. They'll tell you that I'm old and decrepit looking. Like I said, I did a little bit of number crunching this to close out the year. A couple things I wanted to share with you. In total, There was 4,860 games played, 185,000 plate appearances, 42,000 hits, and 22,000 runs. Just about anything that could happen, it did. But there was a couple things that only happened once this year. For instance, it was nearly impossible to throw out Twins speedy center fielder Byron Buxton. I mean, what was it, 29 for 30 on the base paths last night? I mean, last year, it was ridiculous. And StatCast has him as the fastest player around the bases. Faster than Billy Hamilton. So I'm telling you right now, I want to see those two race. You can put it on pay-per-view, whatever you got to do. I want to see those two race. Now he joins Carlos Beltran of the 2001 Kansas City Royals and Brady Anderson of the 94 Orioles in accomplishing that feat and only being caught once in 30 steal attempts. And the only time he was caught in the act of felonious thievery was May 3rd by Orioles catcher Wellington Castillo. And according to StatCast, which was timing Buxton around the bases at that time, Castillo made it happen by recording the third fastest pop-up time of his career at 1.88 seconds. But on the end of that play, Buxton overslid second base, and the veteran shortstop J.J. Hardy successfully blocked the base, causing Buxton to get caught. It was the only time he got caught, and that was May 2nd. 29 out of 30 steal attempts, and he was only caught once. There was a record 6,105 home runs dropped this year, and only 0.5 of them came on a 3-0 count. In fact, only 5 players hit multiple big flies on take counts. Reds first baseman Joey Votto. He's one of 22 players who did it once. And the one time he did, he laid the smack down on Jeff Hoffman with a fastball to center field at Coors Field. Now, what I thought was interesting about this was Joey Votto has legendary patience. I mean, he walked 134 times last year. He's got an OBP of 454. You wouldn't think that someone with that kind of patience would be swinging 3-0. I mean, you would think that 3-0 Votto's taken, right? I mean, it would just seem that way. With all the walks that he accumulates and the high on-base percentage, you would think 3-0 he takes almost half the time. Or you would think he takes a lot of the time. But while his consistent eye is renowned, I would not make the mistake of thinking Joey is passive on those 3-0 counts. Of the 152 hitters who saw at least 10 strike pitches thrown in a 3-0 count this year, Votto's 60.1 swing rate, 62.1% swing rate on those counts ranked third behind only Nelson Cruz of the M's and Hanley Ramirez of the Red Sox. I don't know why that fascinates me. I like that stat. Here's the guy that walks more than anybody. 134 walks. But on the count of 3-0, only 2 players in baseball swing on 3-0 more than he does. Wow. Jake Robinson Sports Experience. You're listening to your boy Jake the Snake.